the WWE.
There's rumors, though, going around the internet. I was reading yesterday that WWE leaked who their general manager is going to be for SmackDown. And the guy who is supposed to be the general manager for SmackDown, I don't know if it's true, is the guy who's calling the Cruiserweight
Daniel
Classic.
Bryan. That'd be interesting.
It would be.
Daniel Bryan is not really the voice.
Well, he's the voice
who
of
knows?
the people.
I mean, it might work. It might work.
Especially
if, you do it that way.
if Shane's going to remain a face owner of the SmackDown, then you're going to have a face general manager.
Yeah.
So why not have... So.
Hey, man. I mean, it might work. We'll see.
But I'm still excited about Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown, live. And now you have NXT on Wednesday.
With the Cruiserweight Classic.
And then Thursday is TNA.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, hopefully TNA
4
can
days.
find some more lightning in the bottle and just continue rolling with the punches here and keep making a name for themselves. I know they're not on a big network, but you can find it if you Google and see what provider you have. I think you can even watch it online a lot of times. They post the matches and everything else afterwards. People were saying that they are a cross between WWE now and Lucha Underground. What do you think about that?
I guess because of what? The cinematography that they did
And
for
the
Final
storyline.
Deletion. I guess I could see that. I mean, if it works for them, might as well do it.
Yeah, exactly. Anything to
as
make
well
you
do it.
money and make more ratings and get people to watch and get interested.
Well, TNA moves next week to Thursdays because SmackDown will be live on Tuesday night, and the draft will be this Tuesday. We are trying to figure out where everyone is going to go in the draft, but one person in particular I would love to know where he's going is Brock Lesnar, who's had such a big week in MMA and for wrestling, and we'll get a little into that when we come back because his SummerSlam opponent has been named. And we'll get into that when we come back. This is Anthony the Ant-Man alongside Keith Logan, the Loganator. You're listening to Ringside Rumble Radio here on Spreaker.com, free on iTunes, and on iHeartRadio.
Most people have something they hold dear to their hearts: family, home, health, and they protect their valuables. Social Security is no different. We value the people we serve and believe the integrity of our programs is important. To protect the people we serve and the services we offer, we use many tools to identify, prevent, and stop fraud. We identify fraud by using tools that predict the chance of fraud happening. These tools help us closely monitor cases and identify fraud sooner rather than later. We also have stiff penalties that discourage people from committing fraud. Social Security has zero tolerance for fraud, and so should you. If you suspect someone is committing Social Security fraud, report it online at http://oig.ssa.gov/report or call the Social Security Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271.
Ringside Rumble Radio here on Spreaker.com, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. It's Keith, the Loganator, alongside Anthony Ant-Man Rivera.
Hello.
Do we even give our plug of how to follow us? You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Ringside Rumble, and on Twitter @Ringside Rumble. Oh, man. Big weekend.
Big weekend, yep.
With Brock Lesnar, man. I mean, people were hating Brock, saying, this guy again, he's back. He's doing the fake wrestling, and now all of a sudden he wants to come back to MMA after the last time he was in the ring, he got annihilated by Cain Velasquez, and then the other one was Alistair Overeem was the last one. And he came back, and he looked like the same Brock Lesnar who held the UFC Heavyweight Championship to me. I mean, it went the distance. It went 3 rounds. Mark Hunt is a great competitor, but wow, I was on the edge of my seat, and I was getting so excited when Brock did the takedowns. He charged him like this huge rhinoceros. It was
Yeah. We were at Fridays watching this, and it was a pro Brock Lesnar crowd in the house, especially with the takedowns. The thing I don't understand is with guys like Brock Lesnar and guys like Daniel Cormier who have a wrestling background.
Yeah.
Hello, people. They're going to take people to the mat and play the ground game. That's what Cormier did with Anderson Silva,
Yep.
and that's what Brock Lesnar did with Mark Hunt, and people are booing because they're not seeing striking and stuff. Well, it's not just about striking.
No.
It's wrestling, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing's involved. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Kickboxing, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Certain athletes have certain qualities to them. Cormier and Lesnar are the wrestlers.
Exactly. And that's how he made his name. He was an amateur wrestler. That's why WWE was so interested in him from the beginning, because they did the same thing with Kurt Angle. They got this amateur wrestler. Why not bring this huge beast rhinoceros in and see what he can do? And ever since then, we see what he can do.
Yeah, and Lesnar proved that he still has it. He could still fight. I mean, he didn't leave because he lost to Overeem. He didn't leave because of that.
He had a disease.
Because he was sick, and now he feels healthy enough that, and I guess they cleared him so that he could fight, and he put on a great showing for a guy that's been rusty and for a guy that hasn't fought in, over 5 years. He came in there, he saw, he conquered. The only guy to have the highest rated and most selling show when it was UFC 100 comes back and does the same thing.
And
people complain that he made $2.5 million, but he's he's made the most money for UFC.
And he came back in, and now he's ranked number 8 in the heavyweight division, which was crazy. It just blows my mind. But
I gotta say, I was not a fan of Lesnar with this cocky attitude when he first started.
Oh yeah.
In UFC. But as a wrestling fan, you kind of got to cheer for him and want to see. I wanted to see him win this fight, and his post-fight speech got me respect for Lesnar. Talking about being the white boy and just wanting to have peace.
Yep.
And wanting everyone to get together, giving props to our military and the cops in the world, and I kind of like that. So kudos to him. Big night for him in the UFC. Also found out earlier on in that day that he'll be taking on one returning Randy Orton at SummerSlam. And Randy Orton will be at Battleground to be on the highlight reel. So this will be a interesting match. We've never seen Lesnar versus... Lesnar had fought Orton way back when Orton first started. But we haven't seen them fight each other since. I kind of get the feel... the way they're promoting this match, that Brock Lesnar will be taking the place of The Undertaker, in that everyone wants to fight Brock Lesnar. Kind of like how Undertaker had the streak and everyone wanted to beat the streak. Of course, Lesnar doesn't have this kind of streak.
Yeah.
He hasn't really lost since WrestleMania 31. No, he did lose to SummerSlam, that freaky ending against The Undertaker. But I feel like now Brock Lesnar is going to be that guy that everyone is going to want a piece of.
Okay. I could see that. I mean, but how do you go about... Is he now... I feel... He's so over now, there's no way he's coming in as a heel or whatnot.
Neither of them have to be the heel, though. You don't have to have heel versus heel all the
I know,
time.
but do you think they're going to go the route with having Randy Orton play the heel? Because they seem to do that. They have to have a heel kind of...
I think that they're not even going to... They might see each other at Battleground, but they won't... until we get closer and closer to SummerSlam, I think there won't be a confrontation.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just better to have the match set and have no confrontation until the fight.
Or will they do like how they did in the back, where you had to have guys break him up with The Undertaker? Remember that, when the whole locker room poured out and was trying to hold him back?
Yep. Could be. But Brock Lesnar, man... He is.
But like you said before we got into the whole UFC fight, where do you see him in the draft? Do you see him on Raw? Do you see him on SmackDown? He's a part-time wrestler, so we know right off the bat he's not going to be on the show every week? Or do you have him as one of, like, maybe just him as, like, because he's a part-time wrestler, have him as, like, the free agent where he floats around type of deal, and whoever wants to take on this big beast, they can have him at the next pay-per-view type of deal?
I mean, I could see that. That's kind of like the Undertaker thing, where someone has to become the contender to fight Brock Lesnar. Or also, they could do something where Lesnar gets drafted, but he'll say, "I'll go where I want to go, whenever, wherever I want to go." Kind of like how he did during his promos leading up to the UFC. I do what I want to do when I want to do. It's not Stephanie McMahon or Vince McMahon telling me where I can be and what I can do.
Yeah. But will that then kind of
makes it reality a little more?
It makes it reality. Will that defeat the whole draft then?
Brock Lesnar is not going to be the one that ruins the draft. He shows up once every couple of months. It's not going to be him who ruins the draft.
It'll be like, I don't know, Dean Ambrose going to SmackDown one week and then showing up on Raw. There you have it, everybody. That's Anthony's take on the whole draft.
Man. Just don't ruin the tag teams, all right?
No.
Let's keep it where the tag teams are safe.
I would agree on that. You need to have them. You can't break them up. You can't have, like, Bubba Ray Dudley teaming up with Enzo and making a tag team of that. There's no chemistry there.
Yep.
It'd be cool, like, maybe the first week, like, oh my God, they're teaming up, and then by the third week, you're like, come on, enough is enough. This is garbage. This is just garbage. So,
well, the draft's next week. We will be on after the draft.
Yes, sir. Yes, we will.
Unless you want to do one before the draft.
No,
these podcast things, man, you can do whenever you want.
Exactly. I say we'll wait. We'll because we'll have Monday to talk. We'll have Monday Night Raw to talk about and Tuesday Night SmackDown, live SmackDown to talk about.
With the draft.
So we'll do that, and we'll probably preview Battleground as well, because that'll be on Sunday after the draft. So until next time, you're listening to Ringside Rumble Radio with Anthony the Ant-Man Rivera. I'm Keith Logan, the Loganator. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Ringside Rumble. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Ringside Rumble. And remember, we're on Spreaker.com, iTunes, and iHeartMedia.
Guys, enjoy the draft. Let us know your thoughts on the draft. Who should go number one?
Yeah. Have a good week, everybody, and enjoy your weekend.